What's going on, my sexy subs? And I know that it's been a while since my last upload, and believe me, I know. But there's an explanation to this. But before I get started, let's set our first like goal. Let's go for 4 likes. Now I know that's pretty high, and I know that I have very little subscribers, but I'm sure that if we all work together as a community, as part of the YouTube, I'm sure that we can pull this off. So, here's what happened. So this happened like 4 or 5 weeks ago, right? Like, I go out every Saturday morning to play soccer. And, I usually play with a bunch of my dad's friends. So what happened was that these guys don't really care that there are, kids. I mean, I'm a teenager and, they don't really care. If I was like 10-year-old kid, then they care. But anyway, so what happened was that they go all out on everybody, and so I usually play as a forward when I play soccer. So I went the ball and I was like, oh hell yeah, I'm gonna make the goal, right? So it was like towards like the defense box, and I go for it, and of course when I went for that, there was this other big fat guy who just freaking knocked me over, and I fell. I like flew into the air. Not like super high, but I sort of like flew, and I like landed backwards. I fell okay on my wrist, on my right wrist, but on my left wrist I sort of like dislocated that. So like when you naturally fall, you basically like on your own, you stick out your hands. Well, I did that to catch my fall, and that's why I sort of screwed up right there. So I thought that was fine at first. I was like, yeah, whatever, it was a foul, I'll just get back up. But then I open my eyes and I see my wrist, and it's like all weird looking, like, I was like, okay, hold up, something's like missing here. I was like, something ain't right here, because it's hurting whenever I move it. So if you take out your left arm, and you can sort of see where there's a curved ending on the far left of your wrist. It's like a bone that sort of sticks out a little bit, but that bone right there, that like dislocated and fractured. So I had to go to one doctor, and it was like the first doctor you go to see whenever you get an injury, and they couldn't help me. Then I went to another doctor, and they couldn't help me. And then finally I made it to a doctor that specializes in that kind of stuff, but he said that he couldn't really do anything to my arm because he needed to put me to sleep and pop the bone back, and he couldn't really do that because he said that in order for that to happen, I couldn't have ate breakfast that morning. So I was like, damn, does that mean I have to stay like this until tomorrow morning? I mean, I don't want to like be in pain all night because I'm barely gonna get any sleep. So another guy shows up, another doctor, and he tells me that he sort of specializes in like my kind of injuries, like in that arms and like hands, wrists kind of area. So he's sort of saved my ass right there, and he said that he specialized in that, and he told me he could fix my wrist, but he said it was gonna be pretty painful. So I walk into like a room, right, like your regular typical patient's room, and he told me like what was gonna happen and stuff, and basically what was gonna happen is he was gonna do what the other doctor was gonna do while I was asleep, but I was actually going to be awake the entire time. Now, he said it was going to be a lot of pain, but it was going to be pretty quick. And the first thing he did, he put me in some like my arm, the Chinese finger traps things, right? So there was like one thing that I stuck my fingers in, and basically that left my arm like hanging. So my fingers like hanging from the Chinese finger traps, and so my arm was like at a 90-degree angle. So if you just like take your arm, lift it up at a 90-degree angle, that's how it was. And so what he did then was that he put some weights onto like my not the forearm, but like the muscle part. And so he put some weights there, and then I thought that it was over, and I was like, okay, well, that was actually not bad at all. I thought it was hurt, because it did hurt a little bit, but I thought that was it. But holy shit, was that wrong. That was only like the beginning. So then I was really dumb to think it was over. I was about to get up after 15 minutes, and then he was like, oh, we haven't even started yet. I was like, oh god, no. And so what he did was that he takes me off the finger trap things after 15 minutes. He grabs my arm and he told me to look the other way, and then he said like told me to try to stay still until it was over, because I could, potentially do something worse when he's trying to move it. So, he basically like, I think he counts to 3. I'm not sure, but I can't really remember that far. But he pushes the bone back, you know, in two different directions in order to get it back into its place. And if you're wondering like how I dislocated it, I basically like, you know, moved it up and over. So that bone I was talking about, I basically moved that up and towards the right side of your wrist. So that's why he had to move it in two different directions. And you know, you have to keep in mind, I was fully awake and fully aware of like what was happening. And oh my god, dude, I remember I was freaking screaming so loud. I could like feel it. Most painful thing I ever experienced in my entire life. So yeah, after that happened, you know, I was like breathing shit tons of air. Almost passed out because it hurt so bad. I mean, they didn't numb it or anything. They just went like boop, boop. But after that, they put me in like a huge ass cast for like 2 or 3 weeks. Then I finally got a half cast until last Friday when they finally cut it off. And so, you know, when I uploaded that Minecraft video that, you know, that just recently came out, that was done by one hand. That was edited by one hand. So that's why, you know, it took me like a long time. Now that the cast is off and everything, I'm basically going to be back to uploading for you guys. I mean, I know I haven't been doing a whole lot. It's because I've been doing some other stuff. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this story. If you guys did, be sure to drop a like. I don't know if you guys want more stories like this. I got pretty good ones in the back of my mind and I'm thinking about it. But so yeah, go ahead and subscribe to this channel if you are new and drop a like. Let's try and hit that 4 like goal. And yeah, more videos are coming soon. And thanks guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.